You All right, hello. What's going on, everybody? It is I, Chris Classic, dropping another midnight cast. Make sure you like all of the platforms that it is on through Twitch, through Facebook, through YouTube at the Take It Home podcast. I will show everything else. Also, check out www.c3ultimatewrestling.com. Can you guys hear me? Trying to make sure everything is clear. Like I said, I am new to this. What up? What up, Robert Brown? Lafayette, Indiana in the building. What's happening? What's going on, man? Good hearing from you again. Thank you for coming to this midnight podcast. I got a few announcements. Right now. I'm glad to speak on two things. First things first, I'm happy you guys are here. God bless you guys. Another thing, as I'm setting it up, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm trying to get used to this. Give me some time. Okay. So, if you haven't already on the YouTube channel, the Take It Home podcast, I have my match from this weekend. Preston Palmer versus Classic Alpha is on. It is on the Take It Home podcast YouTube channel. So, watch it, comment, give it a like, subscribe. Very, very good match. It was a very good match. So the bad part about the video quality is it's in PS1 graphics, but other than that, I tried to edit it the best way I can. It ultimately failed, but proud of the match. Great match. If you guys want to watch it, check it out. Come back. But yeah, it's a very good show. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to take care of this sound real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't have soundproof equipment yet, so I'm recording in my basement. So I'm trying to make sure that everything is very clear. Air conditioning kicked in. I have to set up some of these padding and everything like that. So work with me, guys. Work with me. I'm trying to get used to this. Like I said, thank you guys for rocking with me. Like I said before, I was rudely interrupted by the heat. We have this available on the Take It Home Podcast YouTube channel. Like I said, if you guys have not watched it, please watch it. I recommend it. It was a very fun match. It was very good. Crazy crowd. Like I said, I'm doing more things in Wisconsin. I got some more things in the works. So truly grateful for an opportunity to even wrestle. So got a lot of great reviews. A lot of people like that. And I've talked to a lot of people behind the scenes. So make sure you guys look at that. Also, a huge announcement for C3 Ultimate Wrestling is in my upper right corner is, yes, indeed, we have our next show. Next show will be June 18th, 2022 at the Gene Shepherd Community Center, Hammond, Indiana. Let me give you guys a clearer background. I think y'all can work with me. Like I said, I'm trying to work with me, y'all. But anyway, Hammond, Indiana, June 18th, Kingdom Come. This was a show that we were supposed to have September 18th of last year, but it was a couple things that were beyond my control, around our control too, with a lot of things and regulations. So, like I said, I'm going to promote more of this every time I do a podcast until the day of the show. I'll probably have a lot of stuff taken care of with that. A lot of these guys I started in the business with, some I have not. We will start breaking down the card and everything. So I'm truly excited. We are sponsored by Limelight Entertainment Studios. This is the, I believe, third show that they've sponsored. I'm just thankful that somebody even wants to invest in us as a wrestler company. So make sure you guys get your tickets for that. You can message me about that and everything, man. We are truly excited. We got a lot of things that are coming our way in 2022, and I just thank God for that opportunity. Okay. With that being said, background in. Welcome to the Take It Home Podcast, and judging by the title, I wanted to go talk about a certain term that a lot of people try to differentiate WWE from AEW. Now, you do have some people who they don't like WWE. They feel like it's outdated, it's played out, they do the same thing, they push older stars, they don't do anything with the younger people and stuff like that. And at one point, I can definitely understand where these people are coming from. Then you also have some people that don't like AEW because they don't like the blood, or they don't like the cursing, or they don't like how some of the structured matches and stuff like that. And I can see that point too. I can see why one person may watch one and not the other. One issue that I do have is when the wrestlers or sports entertainers try to differentiate or try to make fun of that. Like, for example, the JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, they call themselves sports entertainers, and it makes people boo them, and that's cool, you know. That's one thing, but at the end of the day, my argument is that we're all sports entertainers when you think about it. Now, let's break it down a little bit. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go to a term, and we're going to break down what is sports entertainment. What does this mean? So let me check this. Let me show you guys. Share the screen. All right. As you guys can see, the definition for sports entertainment is a type of spectacle which presents an excuse me, ostensibly, I'm tired, y'all. Ostensibly competitive event using a high level of theatrical flourish and extravagant presentation with the purpose of entertaining an audience. Now, if you guys did not click out after me butchering this word here, I'm not going to say it again. That is what sports entertainment is. So, when you have people on Twitter or you have people online saying, oh, well, I watch AEW because they are wrestlers and the WWE is sports entertainers. And it's like, I understand what you're trying to say, but at the same time, it's like, just say you like this over that. I'm not, and I'm not the know-all, be all of wrestling and terminology and stuff like that. But it's like, if you choose AEW because you feel WWE is boring, just say that. And you do have a lot of people that say that. They say that, it's repetitive and things like that. But when you say like, oh, okay, it's more wrestling, I'll give you that too. WWE, Raw is 3 hours, you might not get as much wrestling. Rampage and Dynamite may give you more actual wrestling. But to act like they don't have anything to do with sports entertainment, I can't agree with you with. I can't kick it with you, partner, because it's not true. And y'all know it's not true. And you may like it because you're anti-WWE, or they may actually do a good job. So with AEW, they do have a lot of younger stars that they go behind, and you see the crowd love them and stuff like that. But then I've seen gimmicky matches and stuff like that was real corny, and people just cheered it because it was just not on WWE's platform, knowing for a fact that if it was actually on WWE, people would boo it, or they say it was crap, or what's going on with that. And here, I'm not vouching for WWE at all, because let's be honest, with sports entertainment, things that have nothing to do with wrestling, they run that stuff to the ground. Like, how many things have we seen to be like, how many times are they going to run this to the ground? How many times are they going to do this again? A lot. For example, right? Y'all remember Titus O'Neil when he slid, he fell, Titus World Slide. Remember that, right? What was it, Greatest World Rumble? He kept falling, right? He fell, he slipped, we laughed. Then WWE played it again, we laughed. They played it slow motion, we laughed. And they kept playing it. Okay, it's getting corny now. To the point to where he would come to walk to the ring because he was managing, I believe, Apollo and Dana Brooke, and he slipped on purpose. And it's like, okay, cool, y'all run that to the ground. Ty had a farting gimmick or whatever like that. Great Khali had the Punjabi Playboy. This was a dude that beat the Undertaker in was it his debut or one of his first matches? And then we fast forward to that. And some of it is funny, and some of it is just like, okay, we don't need that. So to just watch WWE, you might not like it. That doesn't mean that AEW is not guilty of it. I mean, I can give you some examples right now. For example, let's look at AEW's YouTube channel. Channel, right? Okay, so what I did was I went and I wanted the most popular videos, the most interactive, the most viewed, and everything like that. I wanted to see exactly how it was going to be. Salute to everybody on Facebook. I'm checking on my phone. What's going on, Damien? What's going on, Mike? What's going on, guys? We talked about sports entertainment here, and we're saying how AEW is not shy of it. Now, this isn't a debate to say, oh, okay, AEW does it better or WWE does it better. It's just that I hate the term to say, oh, okay, well, AEW has wrestlers and WWE, they just show sports entertainment and that's it. And AEW doesn't do that. I was just like, okay, WWE might have coined the term, but the true definition of it, AEW is also guilty of it. For example, okay, so we're looking at, let's pay attention to the top 10 most viewed videos. Okay, so the most viewed is there's a kid that was dressed like Orange Cassidy, and it has 41 million views. There's not a lot of videos wrestling-wise that have 41 million views, right? So we all know what Orange Cassidy does. We all know what he is. We all know how he wrestles and stuff like that. So if you're going to sit here and be like, oh, okay, AEW barely does sports entertainment, I'm going to disagree with you, because this guy is heavily featured on a lot of their shows, whether it's Dynamite, Rampage, Dark Elevation, and then he even challenged for the title he challenged for the title and had a ladder match. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that he sucks or anything like that, because he is entertaining. I have people that I work with show me videos because they know that I wrestle, and then they say, oh, I like him, he's funny, he's dope, look at this, look at that. And then that same person, shout out to my brother, he will say, like, they probably won't show him a lot because people will get sick of what he does. Now, they just started slowing him down. I know he has an injury too, and I hope he gets better and stuff like that. But he was heavily featured at one point. So Orange Cassidy, you know, he does the slow kicks and everything like that. He puts his hands in his pockets and all of this stuff. Now, he got real popular in the independent scene. So he was one of the day one signed by AEW. But what I'm saying is, and he can go when he wants to go. But let's be honest here. Like, he beat Adam Cole by hugging him and falling through a table. And Adam Cole was selling that he could not get out of the hug. Now, is it entertaining? Yes. Is it sports entertaining? Yes. And will WWE get crucified for it? Yes. And like I said, I am not trying to validate WWE, but I just think that you're trying to say, okay, they have actual wrestlers. Maybe you could say more wrestling, or maybe you're more invested in it because you see new people. Because some of these new people are doing the same thing some of these guys in WWE are doing. Okay, so out of the 10 top viewed, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of the 10 top 10 viewed videos on the YouTube channel, all of the wrestling involves Orange Cassidy. Now, CM Punk is up here. Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho's up here. John Moxley's up here. Moxley's up here. Omega and Moxley's up here. But what does this say at the end of the day? And it's not just Orange. Like I said, I'm not attacking Orange Cassidy. Let's see. Anything Jericho. Anything Jericho should have named the Screw the Sports Entertainment. Well, yeah, I thought that's what he called them. What would he say? Sports entertainers is something. So yeah, and even with that, okay, it's a joke, and I understand it because he's making fun of WWE. You know, AEW does that a lot or whatever. Like, that's their stick or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a form of sports entertainment. Like, you can't say, oh, it's just like legit wrestling, because with pro wrestling, you have to have something. You have to have charisma. You have to have something that gets the people going. And AEW may have it to usually the hardcore audience, if you want to say, if you will. If you want to call them the hardcore audience, you can call them the hardcore audience. But hey, a fan is a fan. So, you know, you have your Luchasauruses, you have your Mimosa match with, of all people, Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. You have a lot of things. You had a musical number with MJF and Jericho in the Inner Circle. I wish I pulled it up there on my Facebook, and we talked about it, because a lot of people were saying, like, yeah, WWE does the sports entertainment, but then I was like, no, AEW does it too. And it's like, is that a valid argument? I mean, okay, you can say, see, because I don't like to be like, I'm on one side, but you can say that it's corny and repetitive. But when another company does it the same way, what do you say about them? Excuse me for eating. But I just think that's the funny thing about, or the ironic thing about, oh, well, WWE just has sports entertainment. And it's just like, a lot of things have sports entertainment. And that doesn't just go with wrestling. When you go see the Harlem Globetrotters, it's a scripted basketball event. And that's sports entertainment. They're playing with the basketball, they're dunking, they're having fun and stuff like that. And that's cool. That's fine. If AEW was just going out there with just showing wrestling and stuff like that with nobody with no charisma, people will watch it who really hate or dislike WWE, but it won't move numbers like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to see the charisma of MJF and stuff like that to work. You have to see these guys. You have to see these guys cut a promo. You have to see how these guys are loose cannons. You have to see segments. Segments are part of sports entertainment. Piper's Pit, KO Show, Cutting Edge. All of these things are part of sports entertainment with interviews and stuff like that. AEW does it with Mark Henry. They used to do it with Lexi Nair, which was Dr. Dallas Page's daughter or whatever like that. They used to do things like, they still do things like that. Randy's Cooking Show before they left. That's who's on AEW. That was a wrestling channel, right? It got some views on it. So what do you say about that? That we need that aspect of sports entertainment. You have to be entertaining as well in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Because I will say that WWE does have a bad time with certain things, but I do give things a chance. And with AEW, people like to say, well, you need to give it a chance anyway. So that be the debate sometimes. I mean, just be like, if you want to argue about that, just take it to accountability that AEW is known for that too, about sports entertainment. If you want to say you want to watch more wrestling, then okay, just say you want to watch more wrestling. You know, like I said, I will agree with people that AEW has more wrestling that you can see through the hour that they are giving compared to WWE. But also WWE is also trying to gain another audience and stuff like that. Even when Vince McMahon had to talk about sports entertainment, he was saying, oh, well, we're going more based on soap opera and we're getting rid of the superhero aspect and everything like that. Like, he legit said that. And some people are mad at it. But at the same time, this is something that molded wrestling as a whole in itself. Even with WCW back in the day, and then even companies that are following after that, AEW too. So it's like, you cannot just be like, oh, well, AEW doesn't do it. They do it. The musicals, the mimosa matches, a whole bunch of interactions with each other with promos. Some of the what was that? I forgot the field match, the football field match, the stadium match or whatever like that. That's sports entertainment. That's not wrestling. Like, come on, man. Like, we cannot move the goalposts. Y'all see that shaking? That's because the goalposts is. We cannot move the goalposts because you enjoy one over the other. It is okay to just say you choose AEW over WWE. Nobody should give you slack for that. That's your choice. The same thing. If somebody enjoys WWE more than AEW, then that's cool. The ironic thing in all of this to me is that so many people say that AEW reminds them of the Attitude Era, or they want the Attitude Era to come back, and that was the best era in wrestling was the Attitude Era and stuff like that. But then when you sit and actually think about it, when you sit and actually think about it, when you actually think about it, Attitude Era had a whole bunch of sports entertainment. Stone Cold, before he was Stone Cold, when he was Stunning Steve, he was he was a great wrestler regardless. But at the same time, when he turned into the beer drinking brawler, that's what got him over more than anything, and everybody called him the greatest wrestler of all time. He was driving his truck, hitting cars and dropping cars and filling stuff with cement, the Zamboni, spraying people with beer, all of that stuff is sports entertainment. This was Attitude Era too. A lot of people say they want the Attitude Era back. This is what they were doing. They were doing a whole bunch of sexual stuff too. They were doing crazy matches. The dog kennel from hell match. Y'all remember that? The Big Show storyline with the Boss Man dragging his dad's casket. Like, this was stuff that was going on that had nothing to do with wrestling, but was sports entertainment. But you want that back. Undertaker, my favorite wrestler, sitting here brainwashing people, trying to crucify people and everything like that. Sports entertainment. And what people say, oh, well, AEW, with everything they're doing, they're the closest thing to the Attitude Era. So now it's like you kind of put your foot in your mouth, because you're saying that you don't want sports entertainment, but you want your company that you think is better than WWE to do something that WWE used to do. Come on, man. Ruthless Aggression Era had better wrestling than Attitude Era. Attitude Era had better characters, they had better developments and stuff like that. A lot of people remember Godfather, and when he had the women and stuff like that, he was dressed like a pimp and all of that stuff. You may remember The Good Father, but some don't remember Kama Mustafa or Papa Shango. A lot of people, some don't remember these characters that he was, but they might not even remember his move set. What I'm saying is, it was a form of sports entertainment. And yeah, you can say that WWE, they weren't the first to use the term, but they innovated it. And they kind of put a foundation on what wrestling is today now. Now, could they change things? Yes. But at the same time, a lot of people use the same thing. Y'all remember Britt Baker versus Big Swole, the Super Male match? A lot of people still paying that match to this day. It was bad. A lot of people paying that match to this day because it was not a legit match. To me, it wasn't as bad as the stadium match that people talk about, the stadium matches that happened, but at the same time, it was not a match. They literally just rumbling around in Britt Baker's office. You know, somebody might have enjoyed it, somebody might have. It's just all sports entertainment. That's what wrestling is. Wrestling is sports entertainment. The match I had this weekend, which I hope you guys watch, and if you have watched it, please watch it again. The match, we wrestled half the time of the match, or at least less than half the time of the match. But just watching and enjoying it and see how entertaining it was. You know? And that's because it's called sports entertainment. I'll say it. It doesn't mean that it's actually entertaining. Like I said, Natalya, right? Being the nephew of Bret Hart and also being the daughter of Jim the Anvil, Neidhart. You know, you wouldn't think that they'd give her a farting gimmick, or she'd walk around making out with like the Great Khali and things like that. You wouldn't think that kind of thing would happen, but unfortunately, that's the kind of situation WWE does. You know, they're hit and miss with certain things. I'm trying to think of other things with AEW, but other than that, it's a part of wrestling. It's not just a minor part. It is a major part. Like my homie Joseph said, aka Cassie, he said, you know, there's pyro, there's lights, there's the flickering of stuff. You got like characters and everything like that contribute to sports entertainment. You know, when the lights go out, you either think it's the Undertaker or you think it's Malachi Black. Entertainment, sports entertainment, and stuff like that. You know, and I'll say it. Okay, we can say that AEW, they have more wrestling-based stuff, but some of their stuff is not well put together. And some people know that. It's just that they want WWE to fail. Now it's like, do you want them to fail because you're tired of them, or do you want them to improve? But just say it. That's cool. It's fine. I'm not one of these people that pick a side, because both could improve in certain aspects. I just think on one side, well, both sides, people don't want to talk about it because they just want one to fail. Hey, if there's two top American wrestling companies here, I'm all for it. That's cool. That's cool with me. That can happen. That gives more opportunity. Samoa Joe is one of my favorite wrestlers. And it's unfortunate he got released, then brought back, won the top title in NXT, then had to vacate, then got released again. It sucks, but it is good to see that he'll be on AEW. Now, you know how I feel, you know how my homie Kev feels about all these signings that they do, but they are getting repetitive. They are doing the same thing. You either go against Ricky Starks or you go against QT Marshall. They're busy now, so that's why Samoa Joe, you know, he's in the On Heart tournament. But yeah, it's just a small situation. It's just like a small topic that I get slightly irritated by. It's just, this is just more wrestling. It's not sports entertainment. It is sports entertainment. All of it is sports entertainment. You need that. You need that to build characters and stuff like that. Your most viewed video is Orange Cassidy. A lot of y'all most viewed videos is Orange Cassidy. And that's cool, but it's a character. And then the wrestlers have to sell being hugged by him, or when he put his hands in his pocket, they struggle to get his hands out of his pocket in a legit wrestling match. He's flipping with his hands in his pockets. He has his shades on. You literally let him watch him put his shades on. Entertainment. What'd you say? That's a good point. Y'all probably heard it. But before everybody canceled Joey Ryan, y'all remember what he was doing? Was that wrestling? No, it was not. It was inappropriate, but people went for it. He was, you know, people were grabbing his private part and he was flipping people around. Sports entertainment. I've seen what's his name? Joey Janela. He did a wrestling match. It was a social distance match. They legit went in there, didn't touch each other, and was bumping for each other, talking about 6 feet, you know, the social distance. That's not wrestling. Come on, man. That's sports entertainment. Like, come on now. Like, this is a majority of wrestling. It's not a lot of pure wrestling. Maybe you can say New Japan, because they really do treat it like it's a sport. They look at it like tennis. They look back and forth, like, you know, and then they get impressed when they see something happen. But other than that, it's all sports entertainment. When in the independent scene, you don't even have to wrestle that good. You can just have a good character. That's when you think about it, that's in major leagues as well. I just hate the notion. I don't hate it. I just dislike that notion as if nothing else is as good as that, or you know, AEW just has this pure wrestling and stuff like that, and it doesn't. And they can't have that. They can't have that. Moxley, like, look at that. Okay, y'all saying this? I mean, some will say it's pure wrestling now because he's part of the faction, so stable, if you will, with Bryan Danielson and William Regal, Blackpool Combat Club, whatever like that. But the thing about it, more people liked his attitude or his aura than anything, like hearing him and stuff. Eddie Kingston, I can hear Eddie Kingston talk all day. That's his bread and butter. It's his mouthpiece with how he talks and stuff like that. People get behind him without even seeing him wrestle. Sports entertainment, promos are very important. Sometimes that differentiates you from somebody else. I'm sorry, man, but when I look at wrestling, especially like on the independent scene and even some stuff in AEW and in WWE, most people wrestle the same. And they can't talk. Oh, I hate talking. I don't want to do this. Like, everybody's doing Germans. Everybody's doing super kicks. Everybody's doing splashes. 450 splashes. Shooting stars splashes. Everybody's no selling. Everybody's doing that fighting spirit thing from Japan where we gonna chop each other till we break vessels in our chest until our nipples fall off. It's just a whole bunch of, it's just the same stuff over and over. And then I said that this weekend, you're gonna get This Is Awesome chants. You're gonna get a lot of those. But 9 times out of 10, the fan are probably gonna forget everything that happened in that night. Because there was nothing outside of the pure wrestling. Maybe if you wore something a certain way, maybe, you know, anything can catch somebody's attention, but you want people to come back at the end of it. That was a good one though. About That was a good one. Like, you legit, people will legit book people who don't even wrestle as long as it's a form of sports entertainment. Yeah, the Walmart boys. What I talked about the last time too. They, like I said, I think one of them is actually training now, but it's sports entertainment. Even if they didn't have a ring, what they did was sports entertainment because they're doing what we doing. Might not be well, but they were doing what we were doing at Walmart. They got booked for it. Sports entertainment. Come on, man. Celebrities wrestling. Sports entertainment. We just talked about this in the first cast. No, the second one. I'm sorry. The second podcast, we talked about this. We talked about how the celebrities coming in, that's going to bring more people in. You know, it's sports entertainment. These guys did a great job. And like I said, I don't think WWE is done with it at all. You get what I'm saying? You can always say that one has more wrestling, but to act like one doesn't completely 100%. You're lying. You're lying. The truth is not in you. For no reason. It's the same. Everybody's praying and hoping that the Attitude Era comes back. The Attitude Era really had nothing to do with wrestling. I mean, it had it, but we wanted to see how Stone Cold was going to beat up Vince or his family or whatever. We were going to see if Kane or Undertaker was going to burn somebody. Al Snow, what does everybody want? Yeah, like with the mannequin and stuff like that. Big Boss Man, dressed like a cop. Entertainment, all sports entertainment. They said it, and then the thing is, Vince completely said what they were going to do. And years later, it molded everything else. Everybody's doing this thing. Soap opera this, opera that. Wardlow and MJF, loving the storyline. But look at everything that's following it. A storyline, something we've seen before, but they are making it their own. It's a storytelling, a story, long term, if you can call it the short term. Sports entertainment. It's all a part of it. It's all of it to get invested in wrestling. It all comes together. Wrestling, pro wrestling at that. It's not just straight wrestling. If that's the case, people will be giving Dean Malenko his flowers. A lot of people didn't give him his flowers, man. Give Dean Malenko his flowers for doing what he was doing. Mike Quackenbush trained a whole bunch of people. Nobody talks about him like that no more. No offense to him, but unless it's on Twitter or something, that dude could make all kind of moves and stuff like that. And it was just straight wrestling. And then I think a lot of people had to learn. You know, Ricochet was considered, still is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But he had to develop a personality. He just go out there and wrestle, man. Sometimes people get sick of that. Regardless of what the internet say, you have a big wrestling base that don't mess with the internet because the internet is very toxic. And they like to tell people what to accept in a wrestling match. It just don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to talk about for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you guys have not watched this or just listening now, I am heading out. This will be the Save Live. I try to save all of them. Like I said, make sure you follow me on the social media sites. Make sure you check out YouTube, my latest match. If you're in the northwestern Indiana area, June 18th, we have the show. We have our first show of the year, Kingdom Come. $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Also, check out the website, www.c3ultimatewrestling.com. I'm going to promote this heavy, guys. I thank you guys for watching, passing by. Like I said, this will also be on Podbean as well. so you can listen to it, work out on the way to work or anything like that, or just don't like watching stuff. We'll be here shortly, probably tomorrow or Thursday. This is Chris Classic. I hope you guys have a wonderful night/morning. And let's take it home.